Okay, 5 problems left. Let's hope we can get them all on one video. Okay, solve this system but using elimination. All right, that means I want to line up the x's, the y's, the constants, and then see if I can eliminate one of the variables. Well, in this particular system, if I add the x's together, it won't be eliminated, but if I add the y's together, negative 2y plus 2y will be eliminated. So if I add these together as they are, 2x plus 1x gives me 3x. My y's are eliminated, and that equals 18. So if I divide both sides by 3, I get that x is 6. Now from here, I'm going to use this value and one of the equations. I'll choose this one. So if I have x plus 2y is 10, instead of x, I can put 6 plus 2y is equal to 10. Subtract 6 from both sides, I get 2y is 4, and I get y is 2. So my solution as an ordered pair, I put the x-coordinate first, the y-coordinate second. Okay, on 55, as I look at this, if I add the x's together, nothing cancels. If I add the y's together, nothing cancels. And if I add the constants together, nothing cancels. But I notice these have opposite signs. So do these. But if this is a positive 3y, if I make this a negative, then I'm golden. So I'm going to multiply this by a positive 3, which will give us 6x minus 3y is equal to negative 12. So I'm done with that one. So now if I add these together, negative 5 plus 6 gives me 1x. My y's are eliminated. 7 plus negative 12 is negative 5. So that was pretty easy. I've got my x value. So now I'm going to use one of my other equations. I'll use my negative 5, and I'll use this. So if I have negative 5x plus 3y is equal to 7, I can say negative 5 times negative 5 plus 3y is equal to 7. So 25 plus 3y is 7. If I subtract 25 from both sides, I get 3y is equal to negative 18. And I finally get that y is negative 6. So if I do this as an ordered pair, it is going to be negative 5, negative 6. Okay, on 56, I have the same situation. If I add these together the way they are, nothing is eliminated. But once again, well, I see if I multiply, I've got a negative 2y and a positive 1. So if I multiply this by 2, that gives me negative 6x plus 2y is equal to 4. Oh, well, this is eliminated, and this is eliminated, and this is eliminated. So I end up with 0 equals 0. statement is always true. So there are an infinite number of solutions. Okay, let's turn to some application problems. Okay, Bev charges $55 for a private piano lesson and $35 for a group piano lesson. Last month, Bev earned $3,270 from 70 students. How many of each type did she instruct? Okay. All right. So let's let x equal the number of private students and y equal the number of group. Okay. So she had 70 students. So we know x plus y is equal to 70. So that is your count equation. Now your amount equation is where the money comes in. So for each private piano lesson, it was 55. So 55 times x $35 times y is 3,270. So this is all set up for elimination. I've got my x's, I've got my y's, I've got my constants. If I add them together as they are, nothing is eliminated. So I see that I have my smaller number here is a positive 35. So if I multiply this by a negative 35, that gives me negative 35x minus 35y is equal to, and 70 times 35 is a negative 2450. So now if I add these together, I get 20x is equal to minus 2450 gives me 820. And when I divide by 20, I get x equals 41. So there are 41 private students. Well, I can use this equation now. I know that the total of x plus y is 70. Replace this with 41. And when I subtract from both sides, I get y is equal to 29. So there are 41 private students and 29 group students. Okay, you went to a fast food restaurant and bought 11 items. Cheeseburgers are $33.75 and fries are $2.90. The total bill was $37.85. How much of each item was purchased? So that's what they want to know. So I'm going to let C equal the number of cheeseburgers. And F equal the number of fries. Okay, so we know that there are 11 items total. So that means C plus F is 11. Cheeseburgers are $3.75, so $3.75 for each cheeseburger. Fries are $2.90, so $2.90 for each order of fries, and the total bill is $37.85. So this is your count equation, your amount equation. Okay, well, again, I always choose the smaller of these numbers. It doesn't make any difference. And I'm going to multiply this equation by that number, but make it the opposite. So this gives me negative 2.9C minus 2.9F, and negative 2.9 times 11 gives me negative 3190. Okay, so when I add these together, so 3.75 minus 2.9 gives me 0.85C, 3785 minus 3190, whoops, gives me 595. And when I divide by 0.85, I get that C is 7. So there are 7 cheeseburgers. Again, you don't have to do this fancy. If it's a total of 11 items, this is 11 minus 7, which is 4. Okay, and we got it done on this video. I'll be available before the test. I'll be in the Zoom room at 8:15. So have a good weekend.